Well, more people, as we know, are turning 65.
And older. Coming up next, we'll talk with the author of The Unexpected Caregiver. She'll have tips and tools on how you can take care of your loved ones as they get into their golden years. We're coming right back. It's 8:26.
Well, there are 78 million baby boomers today, and every day more and more people are turning age 65. So how are we preparing to care for them? Kari Berit says through humor, common sense, and meaningful dialogue, she's the author of The Unexpected Caregiver, and we welcome Kari to the show. This is a very important subject as we age. I was even talking to M.A. Roscoe last week about there was a time in my life when the conversations were just like, hey, how's your parents? And it was a 2-minute conversation. Right. And now it gets very complicated as our parents age. So first of all, what are the signs that a loved one might need, more help in their home?
You really want to look for those simple signs that you notice that mom isn't making coffee like she used to, or when they're driving, maybe they're not stopping completely at the stop sign, or they're coming to you and they're not remembering things that they used to just remember immediately. And the problem is, though, is sometimes then we jump to, oh my gosh, my mom has Alzheimer's.
Or I do.
Or you do.
I'm not remembering things, so that's...
I know, but we have to remember that memory loss is not a normal part of aging. Memory loss is not a normal part of aging. Something's wrong.
Okay. What about talking to your siblings about, because we know that can really create some tension within the family.
Yeah, because all of a sudden we get together as adults and we all become 12. I always think about the dinner table that you sat at growing up.
Yeah.
Who talked, who didn't, who's the funny one. That's what happens. All those dynamics.
Thinks they're the boss of all the rest of the...
Exactly. That all rises to the surface. So we have to really be careful and remember what the goal is. And the goal is to take care of mom or dad and to see how we can assist them.
Okay. And the caregiver, this role is very difficult, and it requires, in many ways, several, perhaps if you have several siblings, a lot of cooperation.
It does.
A lot of conversation.
And sometimes you need an outside party. I work with families when the siblings can't get together to decide who's going to do what, and they end up fighting about who loves me best. Mom loves me best, really. And so all those tensions come up. So I end up coming in and saying, all right, let's sit down and see what are the talents of everybody around the table and how can they support the parent.
Now, we have many baby boomers aging. Are we prepared for all the people who are going to be, 65 and older?
No, I think we're going to be in shock. First of all, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we don't talk about aging. We talk about anti-aging, and how we can avoid aging, being youthful, but we don't talk about aging. So the more we avoid that topic, the less prepared we're going to be.
I completely agree. Like, for instance, your book is called The Unexpected Caregiver, but really maybe, part of it is not to be unexpected. You should know it's going to happen. I just wanted to show the cover of the book.
Thank you.
And then, what would you say is a good way that you can deal with the financial burdens, for instance, with, there's a lot of paperwork involved.
Oh my gosh.
You may not even have to necessarily pay, but your parents probably, hopefully, have some money saved.
Hopefully.
But that's a whole other chapter.
That's a whole other chapter, exactly. But the phrase that I always say is, remember, if you're a family and informal caregiver, ask for help and who's on your team. So go to those trusted financial people that you have in your life and at least lay out, but having that conversation with mom and dad sometimes might be tricky, because I don't know about you, but when I grew up it was 20 bucks, could I have 20 bucks? And we never asked dad what he made. And now we need to have some of those trickier conversations with mom or dad if we're concerned. So it's coming at them, having the conversation. Hey, saw on a television program that they started talking about finances with mom and dad. Are you really?
And even discussing quality of life issues. What to them?
Exactly. What is quality to you? And you might be rejected in that initial conversation, but that's okay. Come back again and come back again. These are the people that you love, hopefully. And sometimes I have to admit that there are adult children that come into this and they really don't like their parents.
Yeah.
And there's tension that way too. So again, we have to step back and remember what the goal is.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's a good time to kind of to air out all your dirty laundry with your parents. Get it worked out before then. Well, Kari Berit, thank you so much, Kari, rather. The book is called The Unexpected Caregiver, How Boomers Can Keep Mom and Dad Active, Safe, and Independent. It's very important. Thank you, Kari.
Welcome.
All right, if you'd like more information about the subject, just go to kariberit.com.